Okay, dear students, welcome back. In this video, we will see event handling with Java Swing. This will be more or less a practice for you, a kind of revision for you, because you have already seen in event handling chapter how to handle events. So what I'm going to do, I create a new Java class. I call it Swing event. Right. Okay, so here I have got a public class. I'm going to create a constructor Swing event. Right, so inside this constructor, as I did in the previous video, I'm going to create a JFrame. I call it frame equal to new JFrame. We give it some suitable title like B is true. Right. Okay, we need to refactor, resolve this. It should have, okay, don't worry. Okay, import the class. Right, okay, so we have resolved the import. We are importing JFrame from Swing. Sorry. Okay, so once the frame has been created, I'm going to set the frame size. The size of the frame, I say 200 by 300. Right. Okay, frame has been created, and then I say frame dot set visible true. Right, and then frame dot set default close operation, and that I say JFrame dot exit and close. Right, this I have already explained in my previous video. Okay, frame will be closed, frame is visible, frame has got some size, frame is also created. Now what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to add one label and 3 buttons, and for each of the button, when you click it, we will get label of the button and set that to the label. Right, so J button, I call it button 1 equal to new J button. Right, I call it button 1. Right, same way I also create this and this. Okay, so this one is my button 2, this one is my button 3. Right, okay, so these 3 buttons has been created. I have got a J label. I call it label equal to new J label. Initially I press any button. Right, initially it is press any button. Right, now I'm going to add all these 4 components in the frame. So frame dot, but before that, the default layout manager is border layout manager, but we don't like it, so we are going to set flow layout. So I say set layout, and the layout manager that we are going to set is new flow layout. Right, so we are going to set flow layout for that. Okay, so now I say frame dot add button 1. So this will add button 1, then we'll continue for button 2, for button 3, and for label. Right, so button 2, button 3, and then label. Right, so all these 4 are kind of added. I make it visible after this, although it doesn't make any difference, but it's a good practice that you complete the layout, and then you are going to make it visible. Okay, now inside main we will handle events afterwards, but before that I'm going to have public static void main sorry string arg, right. So here you have got showing utilities dot showing utilities dot, what was the method? The method was uh, the method was get invoke later, right, invoke later. Now here I create a new runnable, right, I mean creating a new thread, and then here I have public void run method, right. Inside that run method I'm doing nothing, I just say new swing event, right. So this will actually call the constructor, that's it. Okay, invoke later public void run uh, public void run new swing method close class close. Okay, I need a semicolon here, right. Okay, so you know that now my frame will run in an event thread. It will be acting separately from the main thread. That's a good point about the swing utilities. Uh, let's run this and see if our frame can be displayed. Okay. Hurry up. Is there some error? Should not be. Implement method in runnable. Yes, it was run method. I already implemented new runnable public void run method. Okay, should work. Okay, so here is our frame, so you can see here is our frame. Okay, come on, I have a very bad mouse here. Okay, so you can see here we have created I need to increase the width of this, right. So you can see I've got button 1, button 2, button 3. I need to update these labels, right. When I click this label should be you press button 1. When I click this label should be you press button 2. When I click this should be you press button 3. So let's implement this logic, right. So the labels should be button 2, label should be button 3, right. Okay, now I am going to set the action listener for button 1, button 2 and button 3, right. So let's do that here. Okay, so this is event on button 1, event on button 1. So I say button 1 dot add action listener. I'm going to have a anonymous class new action listener action. Okay, new action listener, and I'm going to override action performed in that, right. Action performed method, now when somebody clicks button 1, actually this action performed method will be called, right, because I'm going to add event handler, which is actually action listener, which will handle action event. I'm having that as an anonymous class. You can see this is a class that does not have any name, but it is implementing action listener, and this is beauty of IntelliJ. As soon as you implement interface, it will give you this type of automatic definition of action performed method, right. So we say that when somebody clicks button 1, you do nothing, you just update the label. So we say label dot set text, and we say you pressed you pressed button 1, right? You pressed button 1. Okay, so similar kind of arrangement I'm going to do for button 2 and button 3. Button 2 and button 3. Right, so for button 2, when somebody clicks it, we will update the label and we say you press button 2. And here we will update you press button 3. Right, so a very simple logic we have, because now we have added these action listeners. It means that event which is being generated by button 1, button 2 and button 3, it will be handled. And when I say it will be handled, it means that action perform method will be called. So when you click on button 1, this action perform will be called, and it is doing nothing. It just updates the label and it says that text should be you press button 1. And when you click on button 2, you know that this action performed will be called, and again you are doing nothing, you are just updating the label. Right, let's run this program now. Now events should be handled. Okay, so let's check it. I first bring it here so that you can see it. Okay, okay, make it here, bring it, come on, my mouse is not working properly. Anyway, so button 1, you press button 1, button 2, you press button 2, you press button 3, button 3, come on, I must have not updated this, huh? So you can see button 2, button 1, button 2, button 1, I can then close it. Right, so you can see this is for button 2 and this is for button 3. Right, that is the reason why when I was clicking it, it was not acting. So now you can see that I mean, this mistake has actually given you an idea that on button 3 we were not handling any event. So when I clicked on button 3, it was not reacting because I twice added action listener on button 1. I did not add action listener on button 3. So you were clicking, but that event was not being handled. So that is the reason why it was not working. Right, so you got an idea. When you click swing button, it will actually generate action event, right? And action event can be handled by a class which implements action listener. And here we are having an anonymous class which implements action listener, and we actually add this as an action listener. Right, okay, I hope you got the basic understanding of how a button event is handled in Java Swing. When you come back in our next video, I will explain how drawing takes place in frame. Thank you very much.